That creeped the hell out of me. Why is Shogun here? That's the, that's the first thing I saw. It's just him sitting there in the wheelchair. What the hell? The faint light of dusk filtered through the hospital room window. Whatever. The twilight-covered light sharply divided the middle of the room into that which was bright and which was dark. What it made visible was no white sheets covering a bed, a handheld game system laid beside the pillow, a number of scholarly books lined up along the shelves, a pale purple petals of the cosmos flowers arranged in a vase. It was an orderly room. Nothing moved. A space where time seemed to have stopped. A window that cut a piece out of the dusk sky. A small figure sat in the wheelchair by the windowsill. His back facing the window, he remained motionless. His breaths were so gentle and came so far apart as to make one think he might be dead. His skin was covered in wrinkles. His cheeks were gaunt. His eyes were sunken. Not a single hair grew in his head. An appearance that evoked uncertainty about whether to call him a boy or an old man. The shadow of he who called himself Shogun elongated all the way to the door. There, for the first time, the world moved. The door gradually opened and someone came from the dark hallway towards the sunlight. What is going on? What is... Okay, what? Seriously, what? I know I said countless parts ago that even before you had said that Takumi and Shogun were the same person. I said back then that maybe he was from a different timeline or whatever because I was playing Thomas Steins Gate. But this really, I wouldn't say proves it, but this kind of points to it. I'm intrigued and creeped out at the same time. Takeya Rimi stood still at the threshold without entering the hospital room. Sunlight illuminated a tormented expression.
もうやめよう。残念だけど、あの彼は、西條匠は消すべきだよ。
Okay, so they're not the same, never mind. But still, what? Shogun didn't budge an inch at her words.
どうして？
危険だから。
Grief infused Rimi's voice as she answered. Her eyes, too, appeared faintly damp.
私が消そうか。
ダメだよ。
Ultimately, even Rimi couldn't discern whether he moved his mouth when he spoke.
彼にはやってもらわなくちゃいけないことがあるんだ。
Rimi's hair fell forward as she hung her head, and she quietly pushed it back with her fingers.
例えば、あなたは夢に見たことを覚えていられる？
うん。
そっか。私、すぐ忘れちゃうんだ。
できる人とできない人がいる。
できる人はきっとロマンチストなんだね。
すごく長い夢をよく見るよ。見ている間は何年にも感じられる。
私もそうだった。
To be honest, I have quite a difficult time to discern whether or not Remy is the enemy or not. Oh, I'm sorry, Jan. I know I said a while ago that Shogun was trying to activate Takumi to get his D-sword. And I know that Ayase Senna also had the D-swords, so they could be linked or allied with Shogun. But it almost feels like Remy has her own agenda.
そうだった気がする。でも、それは幻。実際の時間としては、寝ているうちのほんの2、3秒程度のものなんだって、夢って。
And if Remy is against us, or opposed to us, then I'm thinking back about when we first saw her in episode 3 with the staking murder. I know that's not how it happened, because the police saw it differently. But still, I don't know.
心の歌方なの。だから、早く目覚めて、出ないと。いつか、あなたは、西条匠に殺されちゃう。
それでも構わないよ。夢から覚めるわけにはいかない。この夢は完結させなくちゃ。
完結した夢の後には何が残るの？
Someone shook my shoulder lightly. It was very constrained, and moreover, the hand left my shoulder after shaking me only once. I sensed someone peering into my face. My consciousness was awakening little by little. The ache in my body revived together with it. The scent was piercing my nose, vivid and nausea-inducing. It was the smell of blood. My upper lip stung. The inside of my mouth tasted like I'd licked a piece of iron. I slowly opened my eyes. I was in the same alley as before. I lay face down on the asphalt, and right before my eyes was a tiny brownish puddle, akin to something you might see leaking out of our garbage. Grimacing at the stench, I roused myself. I hurt all over. My face was in particular pain. It burned and stung as though someone was bringing a lighter closer and closer to me. A familiar girl knelt close beside me and watched me with a teary-seeming face. The transfer student, the girl who joined my class, and the one you alluded 2 parts ago. In your head. What was her name? Ohara? Oshihara? I wondered why she was here. The transfer student held something out to me. My wallet. Why did she have it? Still dazed, I looked around. 3 of the delinquents who had quarreled with me earlier had been lying there, covered in blood. What was this? Someone has totally worked him over. Their faces bore no resemblance to how they originally had been shaped. Were they dead? They didn't stir. It couldn't be. The 7th New-Gen incident? Oh, who do such a thing? Was it me? Had I? The social student stood up and Dill Pill beckoned me with her hand. Tears in the corners of her eyes, she looked back and forth between me in confusion and the fallen trio. And she abruptly seized my hand and tottered off into a run. When we arrived at the main street, the transfer student let go of my hand. Although we didn't run a long distance, we already lost our breath. Both of us had fallen silent. Maybe the transfer student was just as bad at talking as me. Come to think of it, it might have been coincidental, but I'd never heard her speak. No. That sort of thing didn't matter. More importantly, I had trouble understanding the situation. Those 3 thugs had picked a fight with me and battered me. It seemed like I'd passed out, but how long had I been unconscious? Okay. I'm not going to choose this time. Again. I heard it again. I figured someone I knew was nearby talking to me, but I didn't spot anyone likely. Damn it! Why did I have to start hearing oral hallucinations today? Driven into a psychological corner, I'd been unable to cope except by crafting a new personality in my head. As you had said, dads really have multiple personalities.
Kozu-pii はちゃんとコズピーなのら。日常くんとは違う人だよ。
I'd heard that ordinarily the various personalities of people with multiple personalities can converse with each other, but guess that meant I was special.
コズピーは違うの。
I was sick of this. I wondered if, sooner or later, I would come to hear the voices of personalities other than this irritating Kozu-pii. For starters, just how many personalities existed inside me. I know I'd read in some book that there was a patient in America who had 24. To go even further, it wasn't certain whether or not my personality was the main personality. Maybe the original occupant of Nishijo Takemi's flesh was a different personality, not me. As I stood there zoning out, the transfer student poked me in the shoulder. While doing so, she attempted to speak, but nothing came out, and in the end, she raised a tentative hand.
コズピーがコズピーなのら。
え？
コズピーがコズピーなの。
Oh, that pouting face is so adorable.
「それとコズピーは転校生じゃなくて折原梢なのら。
Okay, Kozu-pii. I could faintly recall hearing that name from Mizumi-kun a long while ago. It's the person standing in front of you. Kozu-pii. 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 No way. His voice was being sent straight into my head. The transfer student nodded with all her might.
テレパシー
仕組みはよくわかんないのら。でもできるの。
That's ridiculous. The source of the voice was her, you mean?
西条くん、大丈夫？
Facing downward, the transfer student looked up through her eyelashes and pointed at my face. Her fingertip trembled.
タラリーって出てる。
I touched my face. The space beneath my nose was wet. I had a nosebleed. The transfer student offered me some pocket tissues. I had an eerie feeling. Then I accepted them from her. I felt the blood coming from my nose. The transfer student.
コズピーだよ。
Oh, Kozu-pii wasn't moving her mouth. She wasn't talking. Despite that, why could I hear her voice?
心の声なのら。
Don't talk like that. It's a turn off to hear it in the third dimension.
ごめん。
Hey. Could you hear the voice of my heart too?
聞こえるよ。
Oh crap. What does this mean? When we had that unsettling hallucination 2 parts ago?
普通に話さないのはなんで
恥ずかしいし。
I see. I couldn't understand how she felt. Because I was the same. Well, that's what she said when we first saw her. She was thinking that we were the same. She looked around nervously, like a small animal, took a glance at me, then began walking towards the station by herself.
ここ離れた方がいいと思う。
Why? Perplexed, I followed her. I noticed that as I walked, there was a stabbing pain in my side. This is dropped every time I took a step. I stopped when I couldn't stand it any longer. I held my side and took a breath. There were so many people. I freaking hate Shibuya. It felt like everyone who passed by was laughing at me. It felt like all of them were watching me. I began to think that everyone knew my face. Don't look at me. Don't laugh at me. I wanted to rest someplace where there weren't any people.
ほいじゃあ、いいところがあるならご案内します。
Kozu-pii's energy level was blatantly different from the countless times when I spotted her at school. And though she was worthless in real life, her mental voice was so...
わあ、今うるさい女って考えた。
It was convenient to be able to have mental conversations, but also kind of disagreeable. Rather, I ended up accepting it right away. But how did this work anyway? Could it be a real psychic power?
やっぱりコズピーのこと気味悪いよね。
No, Kozu-pii, you're the creepy one.
こんなの普通じゃないし。
I don't mind things that aren't normal. Lately, I've had a lot more opportunities to encounter other eccentrics. Besides, you speak kinda weirdly, but you aren't scary. And you don't have crazy conspiracy theories. What makes you preferable to the rest of them?
そう言ってもらえるとうるうるってなっちゃうのら。
Ah. Kozu-pii abruptly started crying as we walked along. Surprised, I hastily returned the tissue back. She bowed her head to me more than was necessary as she accepted it. I wiped the tears below her eyes. Back to what I was talking about. It was creepy and unsettling to have her hear everything I thought. Those were my unvarnished impressions.
そうだよね。
No filter.
ごめんなさい。
Oh my god, she actually said sorry.
でも聞きたくなくても聞こえちゃうの。
Is that so?
そうなの。
Okay. This might sound very stupid, but she's quickly becoming my favorite character. Well, that be the case. You don't want to hear that from a gross otaku like me. A guy as creepy as me really doesn't have any value.
そんなことない。
Just as I was about to revert to depression mode, Kozu-pii cried out loudly in the voice of her heart.
ダメだよ。そんなことを言っちゃ。そんな悲しいこと。
She started streaming tears again. Why was she crying? Did she sympathize with me? If so, I didn't need it. After all, I'd created personalities in my brain and mistook them for real-life people. Remy, for example.
それって咲畑さんじゃなかった。咲畑さんのこと？
You know her?
だってクラスメートだよ。西条くんの彼女さんなのら。
Wrong.
あ、違うの？てっきりそうだとばっかり思ってた。
Kozu-pii knew about Remy, which signified that Remy truly existed. It wasn't my delusion. She wasn't the character I devised in my brain. Maybe really was there.
そうか。
Thank goodness. But if so, why hadn't she contacted me? Not even once. I must have fallen out of favor with her after what happened at Oak Front.
咲畑さん、地震があったあの日、青い顔をして早退して行っちゃったのら。それ以来、学校来てないよ。もしかして家族に何か悲しいことがあったかも。
I see. I felt delivered, knowing that Remy hadn't thrown me aside. Seriously made me seem about to cry. But she wants to erase us. Which makes me cry. If this were the case, I had a reason to act at school again. I wanted to see Remy one more time. Until then, I tried my hardest and keep going to school.
気をつけてね。
Huh?
西条くんが咲畑さんと付き合ってるって思ってたから言わなかったけど咲畑さんには気をつけて。
What do you mean?
咲畑さんはよくわかんないのら。
I'm asking what you mean. You don't get her, you say? The staking? Or how I was missing my memories of being classmates with her since freshman year? There were definitely things about Remy that remained mysterious, even now. But she saved me countless times. When I was frightened, she told me, I'll be there for you. She wasn't my enemy, For some reason, Kozu-pii's eyes were rolling back into her head.
そんなに一度にいっぱい考えられるとコズピーついていきんやはい。
So, sorry. It was sort of odd. When I was talking to people, I generally ended up saying less than 2% of the conversation. But when I spoke in my heart, I talked too much, or rather, thought too much. It was the same for Kozu-pii. I hadn't thought she would be so talkative. In her head anyway.
喋ってるっていう感覚は薄いよ。考えてるだけ、それが流れ込むだけ。相手にはビビーって、相手からはドバーって。慣れてないと自分の思考と相手の思考がごちゃごちゃってなって、にゃーってなるの。
Was she speaking Japanese? Or what? Although I sort of got the nuances of it. So, there weren't any little subtleties like in regular conversations? Subtleties? You know what I mean. Things like seeing the other person's expression or finding yourself unable to say what you wanted wouldn't happen. If people's thoughts were leaking out, you'd lose the ability to read the atmosphere. Neither a one-way or two-way transmission, it wasn't altogether unlike having to pick one flying arrow out of many and stop yourself from listening to the others.
だから気楽だし距離感も近いけど傷つくことも簡単なの。
For a second, Kozu-pii's face clouded over as she soon put on Terry's smile.
西条くんは初めてなのにすんごく上手だよ。コズピーとビビビが合うの。
My beep beep beeps? Was she trying to say that our wavelengths matched?
そう波長。
Well, it might have been because Sarah Tan had the same kind of speech quirks.
あ、でもあの時の西条くんは怖かったの。ピー
Back then?
今日の朝教室で
Yeah. Now that she mentioned it, I'd fantasized some really bad stuff, hadn't I?
だからうひゃーって思ってつい声をかけちゃったのら。
Okay, so if I hadn't chosen green at that point, then we wouldn't have this conversation?
本当はなるべくこの力を他の人に知られないようにしようって決めてたのに。
No. At the time, I hadn't given a damn about anything. Well, there were mere delusions to the end, I guess. It'd be normal to despise me for it.
きっとそれを本当にやってたらコズピーは西条くんを殺してたよ。
Huh? He said something so disturbing with such innocence. The gap between the two made me shudder. We silently, albeit continuing to speak in our minds, crossed through the shopping district and came out on Inokushira Avenue. On the way we walked wordlessly, without glancing at each other's faces. An observer might have perceived us as a charmingly naive young couple. I skipped a line. I'm sorry. Backlog. glad she heard us. No, it was just an example.
まだふひゃーってさせられたなら西条くんにラブラブだ告白されたかと。
So sorry. Yeah, it's really hard to cope up with how everything passed through to her. I took it with the Kozu-pii. It would behoove me to do my best not to wander into unnecessary daydreams.
聞きたいな。先週の西条くんがテレビに出てた時のこと。
You wouldn't believe me even if I told her.
それ決めつけ。うぶー。コズピーはあの時下にいたんだよ。
Below?
スクランブル交差点ハチ公口の改札前ちょうど通りかかって、あの時ずっと声聞こえてたよ。西条くんの声、ナナミさんを助けたい、助けなきゃって聞こえたよ。
My mental voice had traveled that far. There was an unexpectedly great distance between the front roof and the station turnstiles.
それだけあの時の西条くんの思いは強かったのら。
Then, Kozu-pii would understand that I hadn't created such a ruckus with the intention of putting on a psychic performance.
だから価値はなくないよ。なく
But, in the end, it hadn't done any good. I'd prioritized my own life over saving Nanami, my little sister. I'd fled at the very brink of things. Damn it, skipped the line again. Kozu-pii stopped in front of Roft, which is, I guess, the store behind us. She looked at me as she pointed at the store entrance. Apparently the place she'd said she would guide me to was inside. I didn't think there was anywhere to rest in Ruft. Besides, there were a lot of customers in a small enclosed space there. Without me realizing it, my legs had started shaking. The cheers and bellows I'd heard from the pedestrian crossing that night echoed in my head. I didn't want to go anywhere that was full of people. I wouldn't have anywhere to escape to if I entered Ruft.